Here at SunTrust Park for the wild card game between the Atlanta Braves and the San Francisco Giants, as each team sent out left-hander Madison Bumgarner and left-hander Patrick Corbin. We'll start things off with Corbin and the Braves in the top half of the first. One out, Drew Stubbs hits a ball down the third baseline. Corbin tries to field himself. Instead, he cannot get it to the bag, so infield single for Stubbs. And then Brandon Belt hits a ball right back up the middle. Gonzalez cannot get it on the dive. Inciarte, for whatever reason, decided to run backwards first, and it allows Stubbs to get into third base. So runners on the corners, one out, but Steven Souza going down, swinging on the slider. Now two down, runners on the corners. Full count to Brandon Crawford. He chases the slider. Corbin gets out of the jam. It's still 0-0. Bottom half of the first now, leading things off for the Braves is Inciarte, and he's going to slap one out into left field, lands in front of Almonte. It's a bloop single, and then they try a hit and run, but Dansby Swanson doesn't need that as he hits one way into the left center field gap. The diving glove of Almonte does not get it. Inciarte scores easily from first, and Swanson turns on the Jets and gets into third base, an RBI triple, 1-0 Braves. Then Freddie Freeman came to the plate and hits a long fly ball into right field, just short of the warning track. It is caught, and it is deep enough to allow Dansby Swanson to score from third base. 2-0 Braves is your score. They were not done hitting, though, as Jung Ho Kang goes down the third base line past the glove of Eduardo Nunez. That's a single for Gong. Next batter up is Chris Davis, the power hitter. He hits one at Panic, tries to make a diving play, bats it down, and then spins and is able to throw out Davis at first. So two outs, runner on second. Marwin Gonzalez then comes up and hits one into left field. Gong thinks about trying to go home, but instead he has to dive back into third, so runners on the corners for the Braves. Two outs, and Gordon Miller hits a ground ball to third base. Nunez goes the short way, and it's only a 2-0 lead for the Braves. Top half of the third when Brandon Belt going oppo-popo. A line drive shot off at the top of the bullpen makes it a 2-1 game, cuts the lead in half. Brandon Belt, a solo shot for the San Fran Giants, 390 feet. So 2-1. Later on in the top half of the third, Steven Souza draws a 2-out walk, so he's on first base. Next batter up is Brandon Crawford, who is able to hit one right at Freeman, and for whatever reason does not step on the bag. That's going to be an error for Freeman, and it's first and second, 2 outs for the Giants, but Joe Panic cannot get the job done. He goes flailing at that slider. It's still 2-1 Braves. Bottom half of the third now, where Dansby Swanson, another ball in the left center field gap, and he's gonna go and turn on the Jets yet again. Rounding second like a madman, sliding head first into third, avoids the tag. Another triple for Dansby Swanson. He's on third with one out. Jung Ho Kang hits one down the third base line. Nunez makes the sliding play to retire Kang at first, but he has no play at home, so it's a 3-1 Braves lead. Top half of the fourth now, where Abraham Almonte hits one up the middle for a single. So he's on first base, nobody out. That brings up Yosmiel Pinto, who's going to go down the right field line. Harrison cannot cut it off, so instead it's going to be a double for Pinto, and it's second and third as Almonte has to hold up at third. So second and third for Eduardo Nunez, hits a ball up the middle. Dansby Swanson making a beautiful play, fires over to first to retire Nunez, but the runner does come in. It's a one-run game. Still top half of the fourth, and then Patrick Corbin gets out of the jam by striking out Drew Stubbs. It's still 3-2 as we go to the top of the eighth, where Brandon Crawford going down swinging on the up and end fastball. That's the first out. Second out comes when Joe Panic chops one back to Iglesias, fields himself, tosses over to the bag. That's 2 down. And the third out of the inning was when Abraham Almonte grounds out right to Dansby Swanson. Easy play for him. 1-2-3 inning for Iglesias. Top half of the ninth now, D-Rob comes on for the save. Nori Aoki came on to play left field, and Christian Arroyo is pinch hitting, and he proceeds to pop one up right to the guy who just came into the game. Nori Aoki puts it away for out number 1. Next batter up is a pinch hitter in Mitch Moreland. He goes down on the curveball, That's 2 down, and the Giants are down to their final out. Eduardo Nunez going up the middle. Dansby Swanson laying all out, making the play, and retiring the speedy Nunez. And that is how you send your team to the NLDS against the Washington Nationals, as the Atlanta Braves come away with the victory here in the wild card game over the San Francisco Giants by a score of 3-2, as the Braves send themselves to the National League Division Series to take on their division foe, the Washington Nationals. Dansby Swanson gets player of the game honors. He had 2 triples on the day. Those were his only hits. Ender Inciarte 2 for 4 as well. Jung Ho Kang 1 for 4 with an RBI. Patrick Corbin got the win. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, and struck out 8. David Robertson gets the save. Madison Bumgarner could not get the job done for the Giants in the postseason. Unlike him to do that. But nonetheless, the Braves do go on to the next round. 3-2 is your final score. Next time, we'll be seeing the Braves and the Nationals. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Atlanta Braves franchise. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.
Graduation night, teachers Ferris Bueller my name. You made a mixtape? Good job. I hope you get a good job. We was all outcast, only listen to Good Mob. I performed at Fun Fair. Fun fact, I'm never going back to school. Been there, done that. They see my little 10 days.